Hey everyone, welcome back to the Wentworth CM Club podcast. Today I'm your host, Zach, along with co host Adam. On today's show, we have Miles and Jason from Procore, and what we're going to be talking about is some of the features of Procore, some of the behind the scenes aspects of the software, and some additional learning opportunities. So, Miles, if you'd like to start off, would you mind briefly explaining Procore and some of the features to our audience?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Well, hello everyone. I'm Miles Anderson. I'm a manager on the Procore.org team. I support our educational and nonprofit partners using Procore. I've been at Procore 7 years and previously worked with many of our contractors evaluating the solutions and have a lot of experience demoing the product every day. Um, I'd say if you're not familiar with Procore, I'd start with it is the most widely used construction project management platform in the industry. We really started with our project management tools. Those are the primary tools used by everyone, things like drawings, specs, RFIs, submittals, daily logs. We also offer financial management tools for your budgets, your contracts, your change orders, invoicing, things of that nature. Our resource management tools, those are going to be really for tracking your field team's productivity, things like the labor hours out on site, the equipment used, the materials installed, and building a productivity report. And then we also have some pre-construction tools for pre-qualification, for bidding purposes, and we have a full platform with over 300 integration partners, analytics on all of the data. So a lot of people are using Procore as their centerpiece to build an ecosystem of technology to solve for all of their company's needs. And we've acquired some of those solutions in our marketplace, like Esticom, and so we're adding right now estimating to the platform as well. So expect that Procore is going to continue to grow in functionality, but really everything project management and building a platform that integrates with things that solve for other construction departments use cases to support a project.
Great. Yeah, I think Procore is something that is only going to become more popular in the future. I've noticed personally that in the last couple of years, some of the contractors in my area have started using digital solutions.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that what we're seeing is really since 2010, since the adoption of smartphones and when the iPhone became popular and it was pretty standard for everyone to have a smartphone in their pocket out on a job site, there's been a big appetite to move more of those processes out in the field that were previously on paper, or some of the things back in the back office that were on Excel sheets, into one centralized platform for communication, for sharing of data. And Procore is one of the many solutions that are helping to modernize the industry.
How do you manage maintaining active updates for the platform? Is there some kind of process for customers to submit feature requests?
Fundamentally, Procore is an agile solution. So our development teams operate fairly independently and develop new features on a fairly regular basis. We engage with our customers through every step of the process. And so really nothing is built in Procore without really closely working on alignment with our customers to ensure that the tool or the feature will both meet their need in the field or in the office, as well as just forward the organization a little bit. So we're implementing new features kind of all of the time. We have what we call customer advisory boards as well, where we have customers come in and provide us with feedback and details on what's happening on the job site, how they're using Procore today, what kind of enhancements they see would be beneficial to them. And so we'll take all of those suggestions either through the customer advisory board, from our customer support organization where questions come in, and we have that direct line of conversation with our customers, and then obviously through other activities. So we're kind of sourcing things from anywhere, like Miles mentioned, bringing in just the right tool set for our team to be successful.
Yeah, and I would add to that, there's in every screen of Procore on the web browser, a question mark in the top right that if you click, it drops down to really all of our support resources, ways to find answers, YouTube overviews on every tool, and not only ways to get in touch with the support team, but access to a lot of training and educational content on demand, one of the tiles in that dropdown is a place to post ideas. So any user on any screen of Procore can click that dropdown, post an idea. They could link screenshots or sheets of how they're doing things today in their internal process. And, all of those ideas go to our research and development teams. And the most common ideas typically get the most attention from the developers so that we're building the most commonly requested solution.
One thing I was curious about too is how the COVID pandemic has affected your work and kind of what kinds of features you've implemented. And I think I saw on the website that you have a Zoom integration. So I was kind of curious, is that something you had before or something that you put in as demand increased due to COVID?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's a good call out because the Zoom integration was definitely one of them. In the early days, as many people were moving to a virtual workforce, the integration to the meetings tool with Zoom, GoToMeeting, other WebEx platforms was one of the first things that we rolled out. I believe within a month of many of the, stop work on the job site notices went out. We also, in our inspections tool, a tool that's used for quality and safety checks on a job site from a smartphone or tablet out on site, we have some pre-designated templates that people are able to use, like a job site safety checklist, things of that nature. So we also added the templates to everyone's account that are Procore developed that anyone can utilize, added some more around health and safety precautions for a job site where there might need to be a little more social distancing and a little more from a compliance standpoint to make sure you're meeting those objectives. And Jason just linked in our chat here a great resource that's public to anyone. If you go to community.procore.com/COVID-19-resources, we have a lot of great resources there around the product, as well as just some of the pieces like content resources that our clients have been posting. And we have some fun stuff there too, like some great Zoom backgrounds and a construction activity book to keep kids preoccupied while you're running your Zoom meetings.
That's great to hear. And I love that you guys have really thought of it all with the Zoom backgrounds and also the coloring book. That's a new one for me. I know I'm always looking for new Zoom backgrounds for class as well.
I was curious what kind of systems you use to host the Procore servers, ensure that the cloud platform stays running at all times.
Yeah, absolutely. So Procore does operate on the AWS platform powered by AWS. So we're able to inherit all of the security and reliability of the AWS platform, and they've been a fantastic partner for us to build that out. So we offer a number of resources to our customers. If anybody has questions about kind of the certifications or different programs that Procore has taken from a security and infrastructure perspective, they can check that out at procore.com/security very easily. Just kind of got some quick information there about both our hosting infrastructure on AWS, some information about the security protocols and certifications that we have, around the SOC 1 and SOC 2 and ISO 27001 type certifications of a cloud platform that really lean on the reliability, scalability, and availability of something that's cloud native like Procore. And so, we have a full team that's monitoring the platform at all points in time, 24/7, 365, to ensure that, nothing's going wrong, that we have the right amount of resources available for all of the customers that are operating on the platform, and to really just, monitor it and make sure that everything's up so that the job can be done on time.
So that's something I was a little curious about. I know that personally, I'm interested in all of this new technology and software that's making its way into the industry. I think it's important for users to know that there are different steps and solutions in place to ensure that the software is up and running 24/7. We all know that construction is really happening at all hours of the day. And sometimes the times when you need it most are at those off hours, weekend situations that come up. So one other thing I was curious about was some of the Procore certifications you offer. I recently completed the student certification. I think it really did a great job at showing me the basics of how it works, which will definitely come in handy in the future. Would you mind just expanding on that a little bit and talking about some of your certifications and online training classes?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's one of the things about Procore in general that I've been most proud about is really our commitment to the community and to the broader construction community. So those courses at learning.procore.com are available to anyone, whether they're Procore customers or not. Obviously, community.procore.com that we mentioned earlier is really a space where we can come together and share information and share data about the construction industry and just kind of grow overall. And then obviously the procore.org stuff that Miles is key part of. That's all, just incredible and makes us feel good about our jobs every day, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I will say, those certifications sounds like you took one, the student one that we built based on feedback from a lot of graduates from our undergrad programs and the tools they were asked to use as they entered industry. Those trainings are really geared toward different personas on a job to help people get their self-paced on-demand training based on their role. And a big benefit is that adding it to the LinkedIn profile, like you mentioned, because we also, through our customer success team, are constantly educating our clients on how to find students or working professionals on LinkedIn that know Procore by running filters for those certifications. So that's a huge value add just to learn the basics of Procore, but also on your digital resume to tout your knowledge of this technology and to connect with our partners.
The other thing I liked is that you can learn the software from all sides. So you can learn how your subcontractors might use it or how the owners use it, which also could be great for troubleshooting and technical assistance in the office.
On that website as well, we have over 100 free continuing education courses on demand on a variety of non-Procore specific topics. They're approved learning units through many of the associations in industry like AIA or CMAA, but some of the courses for best practices of safety or for some of those administrators who might not be, as integrated into the construction industry, there's some basic construction 101 courses on that website, and then other trending topics in industry like green building or use of implementing technology, building a platform with different technologies, a variety of other topics. So I think the Procore certifications and Procore trainings are great and adds a lot of value to our users. But I also want to call out on that site, there's a lot of other free education on demand that's really valuable for our industry partners.
I saw those as well. And I think as a student, that's a really valuable resource because a lot of these certifications require additional continuing education classes. So it's great to hear that Procore has them and that they're free as well. Because I know some of these things you have to pay for, and sometimes they can get a little pricey. So before we wrap this up, one last question we like to ask our guests is if anyone listening is interested either in internship or a full-time opportunity, is Procore offering anything like that right now? And if Procore is, what would be the best way for someone to get in touch or to see what opportunities may be available?
Sure. So I think the best resource to direct you to on this front would be at procore.com/jobs, has all of our open positions posted across all of our different departments. Um, I myself started as a Procore intern and have grown my career, to be now a manager at Procore. But I will say, many of the jobs that you'll see posted today are typically a little further down the line than entry level. So a lot of the internships, if they're, approved by the hiring managers, typically happen in the summertime. And then if that's, the summer after a student has graduated and they do a great job of their internship, it could turn into one of those entry level positions. But I believe majority of those jobs posted today typically require about 2 to 5 years experience, either in the construction industry or a technology company, or some level of experience aligned to the given role. But there's always, I'd say over 100+ jobs available on that website and across all departments. And we're always looking for great people with great skills to join our amazing company. I know when I started, we were around I'd say 150 employees, and now we're just over 2,000 employees. So it's been amazing to see the growth over the years.
Thank you, Miles and Jason, for coming on the show today. We really appreciate you taking the time to talk about Procore and some of the more technical behind the scenes aspects of it. Thanks for taking the time to check out our podcast. The Wentworth Construction Management Club is part of Wentworth Institute of Technology, a university in Boston, Massachusetts. We are always looking for new guests. If you are interested in coming on the show, please email us at cmclub@wit.edu. If you are interested in purchasing a 30 or 60-second ad to be broadcast during our show, please email cmclub@wit.edu with your name, contact information, and a description of what you would like to promote. Be sure to follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Just search for WIT CM Club. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time on the CM Club podcast.